So what are Merry Minis? Basically, they are these tiny wooden squares that I've already drilled a hole into, and I paint a miniature painting on them. My mom is actually the one that came up with the name because they have a really merry image on them, and they are also miniature in size, only 1¼ inches square. Not only are they miniature in size, but also in price, because everything you see on these two trees are $1 to $4. In the past, I've made penguins, polar bears, cardinals, snowmen, mice, elves, candy canes, cats, dogs, reindeer, and a barn, but all of these that I'm going to be showing you today are brand new. And because they're brand new, I'd like for you to help me out in the comments down below and tell me which ones are your favorites. I might even put up a poll later in the community tab so that you can vote. So either comment down below or participate in the poll that I might post at a later date, and that'll help me know which ones to make more of, because I do have 8 different designs and I really like all of them, some more than others, but it would help me out to get some input from you guys. So for these first two, I'm kind of working on both of them at the same time because it was just too much to make one completely and then start another one. I like to work on them back and forth to let the paint dry as I'm working on the next one. These two are actually going to be buildings. If you paid any attention to the thumbnail, you'll kind of, get a spoiler and see what I'm going to make. But this one is actually a little A-framed house. And I have a sketchbook full of different ideas, and I just kind of went through and picked out ones that I thought would look nice on this small of a square, but also something that maybe would be totally different than what I've done in the past. So I have lots of other ideas, but I'm just going through a few right now, and then as the years go on, when I make more of these, I can go through my other sketchbook ideas. But this A-frame house, I actually think it turned out really cute. Right now it looks a little bit more like a tent, but as I add more details, you'll see it really start to look like an A-frame. And this darker blue square is going to be a really pretty church. Now I debated on making the church where it's facing forward, where you see the front of the church, but I decided to do more of a profile, the side of the church. It's a little bit longer, it fills up the space of the square a little bit more. I'm debating on maybe making a front-facing church as well, just to kind of compare the two and see which ones I like better. But as I'm adding some more details to these squares, you can see I'm using POSCA pens, I'm using regular acrylic paint, paintbrushes, my dotting tools, different sizes POSCA pens, so just a variety of things to make these tiny little images come to life and have as much detail as possible. So here's my little A-frame house working on this so far. I think it's looking really cute. My gray POSCA pen was a little bit runny, but it actually worked to my advantage because it just allows a little bit of a shadow in the snow, and then I could blend it out really well with a paintbrush. So that's another technique that I've kind of been working on. If the POSCA pen is a little bit runnier, you can use it more as just a regular paint with a paintbrush and add some different value to it. I also really love the tiniest POSCA pen for all the little snow. So several of these are going to be snowy scenes. Some of them are just going to have a cute little border going around it. And this is where I kind of made a little bit of a mistake. This POSCA pen, the yellow one for some reason, was a little bit runny, so it can also be a disadvantage. It just depends on what you're using it for. So I ended up going back in with my dotting tool to add some little windows to my A-frame, and this is actually the finished product. I really think it's pretty cute, but again, keep in mind which ones you like and tell me in the comments down below your favorites. I also started working on the little church. I wanted there to be just a light gray roof, and so I did the top of the steeple and also just the normal roof with a regular gray acrylic paint. I did a little bit of value to the hilltop just because there was a lot of white going on, and added just silhouettes of trees on the sides with my black POSCA pen. And earlier when I was showing you those 2 skinny trees at our craft show, there's a variety of Merry Minis, not just these little squares, but these little squares I always price them at $2 a piece. So I think even though they're small, I think that's a reasonable price with all of the details that I put in these and the effort. So that's how much I price them at my craft show. You can find these squares at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or you could probably even buy them online in the wood section though of stores. So if you're interested in making these, just be on the lookout in the craft wood sections. After adding some windows to my church, I also did a snowy drift on top of the roof just as a cute finishing touch. And I was thinking that it was missing a little something, so I decided to paint a really, really small kind of Star of Bethlehem up in the corner. And the POSCA pen was great. It worked out well. And then I just used my dotting tool to kind of spread out the little shiny parts of the star up in the sky. And here is the finished little church. I think it's a really sweet little ornament. And if these are not really your style, these buildings, stay tuned because I'm going to also be painting some really cute little animals and other little Christmas characters. And if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a like. It really does help out the channel. And if you're feeling inspired to make these, that's awesome. I know not everybody is a painter, but I do still enjoy sharing with you all of the different painting things that I like to do. Now this next one is really pretty cute. It looks kind of like I'm painting a buckeye, if you know what that is. It's like a piece of, well, it's actually a nut, but it's also a piece of candy from where I live. It's a chocolate candy with peanut butter in the middle. It's a big giant ball of chocolate with peanut butter, and it is delicious, but actually it's a cute little hedgehog. So I painted a big brown circle with a lighter brown, did a cute little face in the center, and to make it extra festive and merry, of course he's going to be holding a present and have an adorable little Santa hat. I really like adding cute festive things to maybe not normal festive items like a hedgehog, for example. So I thought this was a cute little animal. I've actually had a woman come to my booth before and bought a different hedgehog ornament that I made in the past, and she was from England, and she said they're a pretty common animal over there. Here in America, they are definitely an exotic animal, like a pet. I actually have a student, though, that owns one, so he would definitely love this little hedgehog ornament. But I wanted it to look like the little hedgehog was laying on its back, and I painted these tiny, tiny little hands like he's grasping onto that present, and I used my paint pen to add these tiny, tiny little spikes all around it. Now I zoomed in on this one just because I thought he was kind of tiny so you could see the details, but here is the finished ornament. I added some little snowflakes to this one as well. Super cute. Now the next one is another little adorable woodland animal, and I'm going to be painting a fox. And another thing you could actually put in the comments is any suggestions of what you think would make a really cute Merry Minnie, because I'm always open to new ideas. So that would be fun too if you shared with me what you think would be cute on these ornaments. So after painting the entire fox a nice orange, I went in with the white part to make it really look like a fox. And this one is going to be wearing a really cute little hat and scarf. And I've actually seen foxes in real life before. One time I was actually at school on the weekend and there was some outside of my window on the playground. Another time I saw a mama fox with all of her little cubs, I guess, is what you might call a baby fox, but all of her little babies, and they were in a field. So foxes are definitely more of a common animal around where I live, but you don't really see them that often because they're a little bit more elusive. They don't really like to, of course, be around people too much. While I'm adding some details, I also wanted to let you know that our Christmas craft show is coming up, and for the first time ever, it's actually on November 1st. It's always the first Saturday of November, and that just happens to be November 1st. We are literally setting up for a Christmas craft show on Halloween night. So that's a little different, maybe even a little spooky to be out at night. I haven't been out on Halloween since trick-or-treating myself, so it's been a while, but definitely different. That means that October is like crunch time, the last month to make any new crafts. So thankfully I have a week off in October for fall break, so I'll really be able to hit it hard and get a lot more done. I really feel pretty good. Having a YouTube channel has really helped me keep up to date and make a lot of new things, so I don't really feel too much of a panic, but I definitely want to make more centerpieces probably because I've been making a lot of ornaments lately. But here is this cute little fox. I added some white and black details to the little scarf. Very simple, but still very adorable. Now the next one, it might be my favorite. And I usually try to not let this be my favorite, but it always ends up being my favorite because I like these so much. And it does look like I'm making another Buckeye, but actually I'm not. This is going to be a cute little gingerbread man, or actually a little gingerbread girl. And I've actually never made a Merry Mini like this as a gingerbread person, which is so weird for me because I love gingerbread men so much. Now this one, on the other hand, is a snowman, which I have done before. And even though it turns out okay, I kind of hate the snowman, and I'll tell you why later. But for the little gingerbread girl, I did, of course, the iconic little strip of icing across the head and gave it a really cute little collar. I don't know what it is, but I love making little cute collars on cute little things. So I added this cute little scalloped collar, a cute little red button, and it's going to have all the traditional gingerbread cute things. A cute face. It's going to have some little polka dots on the collar. It's going to have a little bow on its head and a cute little border that looks like candy canes or peppermints because it's going to be red and white and polka dotted. I just really like this one so much. It's so me. So I might have to end up keeping one of these for myself. Kind of like whenever I was showing you the ones at the beginning, the cat one was my favorite one because I modeled it after my cat Muffin, and I actually only have one left, so I kept it for myself. All the ones that you saw at the beginning of my old Merry Minis, I think I only have the mouse, the elf left, and that's it. Those two are the least popular, and I actually thought the mouse would be more popular than it is. The elf doesn't really surprise me, but the mouse is actually pretty cute, I think. But those are my old designs, still for sale, but all the others are gone, so that's why I'm having to make brand new ones this year. But anyway, I'm almost finished with this cute little gingerbread girl. Now let me tell you a little bit about the snowman, who kind of became my nemesis by the end of this project. I was working on these late at night, and I was doing really well. I was getting a lot done. And then there's part of me that thinks, it's good enough. Just leave it. Walk away. It looks good. And then there's part of me that goes, no. Add that one more detail. You can make it look better. And then I end up ruining it. And that's kind of what happened with the snowman. In the end, I don't show you every single detail because I was so frustrated that I just had to shut off the camera and work on it. I literally ended up scraping the entire face off of the snowman with the end of my paintbrush because it looked so bad. The last thing I wanted to do was I did the eyeballs, and I wanted to add some cute little cheeks. Just some cute little rosy cheeks, something simple. Well, they were so close to the eyeball that the pink POSCA pen ran into the eyeball and looked like the snowman had smeared mascara, like it had been sobbing, and its mascara was dripping all over its face, and it just looked like a hot mess. So that's why I tried fixing it by wiping it off. It smeared everywhere. I had to scrape it off down to the wood. And so in the end, it's fine, it's cute, and I'm sure I might make more, but here it is, the finished product. Not bad, looks cute, but in my mind, I know the story of how much I hated making that one. So who knows, maybe I'll make more, maybe I won't. But anyway, that happens to me sometimes. I just sometimes need to let it go and say, hey, this looks good enough, because then I end up messing it up. But thankfully the last two were so much easier. So this little piggy is the second to last one, and yes, I just told you it's a cute little piggy. I do have some other farm animal designs in my sketchbook. I have a cow, which, why have I not made a cow? I literally grew up on a farm with cows, so I need to make a cow. I have one for a little goose or a duck, and I think there's a couple other farm animals I can't quite remember, but I definitely know of the cow and the little duck. So I'm making a pig. Pigs are actually pretty popular in the booth. Whenever we have a pig ornament, we've literally had people ask us, do you have a pig? So maybe around here there's more pig farms than I realize. But the other little one that you saw me painting on is going to be a cute little coffee cup or teacup with hot chocolate in it. But anyway, this little pig, instead of having a scarf, has a wreath around her neck. Maybe she's a little bit mischievous and she ripped the wreath off the barn door and is wearing it like her little scarf. But anyway, she turned out super cute. I really like her a lot, and I have named her Mabel. I don't know why, but I feel like every pig should just be named Mabel. It's just the perfect pig name, in my opinion. So she has, of course, a little red bow on her wreath. There's going to be little red polka dots on the wreath as well, and I gave her a bow. I just can't hardly not do a bow on these cute little animals and some freckles. And Mabel is just adorable with the little bent over ear as well. Now this is actually my last one of this set of Merry Minis, and like I said, it's a little cup with hot chocolate in it. When I was little, I would always go sledding with my cousins in the front of my house. There was a big hill in the front, and they would come over. They lived right across the street, so they would come over and we would go sledding, and my mom would always bring out hot chocolate to us. And so that is a really fun memory of mine. And it was always Swiss Miss. It was always, just from the package, but I mean, tasted so good whenever it would be cold. And it doesn't snow all too often. I mean, it snows every year, but enough to go sledding, not every year. So whenever we did get to go sledding, we always did. And we built a ramp. We always wanted to build a giant ramp, and so when we would slide down it, we would all fly off the sled and go every which way. So it was just always fun memories with my cousins. But this little mug, I'm a little bit concerned that maybe it was a little dark. I used my dark red Posca pen for this one with a dark blue background, so I think the colors look nice together, but maybe it is a little bit too dark. Maybe I ought to just do a traditional red color, but I wanted to give it a little green stripe. I did a green and white border around the outside, and it's sitting on a cute little doily. I also gave this mug a little bit of a personality and gave it a face, a cute, sweet little face. And I used my dotting tool to make nice big chunky marshmallows floating in the top of it. So in the end, I do think it turned out pretty cute. And I know so many of you are so sweet and nice and say that you can't choose and you think they all look so cute. But if there is one that just speaks to you and you're just like, oh, I love that one in particular, tell me please in the comments, so that'll help me know which ones might be more popular at my craft show. But here is the completed set. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.